Welcome into the Buff and Billy Show, brought to you by the Universal Music Tribe and Kudzoo magazine. I'm Michael Buffalo Smith here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, and my partner in crime is way out there in Austin, Texas, a gentleman named Billy Eli. Welcome, Billy.
Hey, man, how are y'all today?
We is doing fine, thank you. It's been kind of survived the 4th of July, and that's always something to brag about. It was quite a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it's what. Yeah, well, y'all are over in Spartanburg, man. It's probably a little bit warm over there.
Yeah, it's been like in the upper 90s, upper 90s to 100 degrees, for a couple of weeks or something. But it was kind of nice. The weather was really nice. We climbed the hill to Columbus, North Carolina on the 4th because Joey's band, Silver Travis Band, was playing at the fabulous 4th Festival in Columbus up there in Polk County. Back in the 90s, I used to play that thing every year, but now it seems like Silver Travis Band plays it every year. And so they played, and then another old friend of mine, I used to play in a band with a guy named Kerry Upton, and he's got a new band called Project X, and they played. So we got to hear those bands and then the fireworks and hung out with friends, got to see old friends. And, it's always fun to hang out with Joey. You know that.
Oh, yeah, that's a fact, man.
He's a good old feller.
It's on my bucket list to get back sometime when they're playing, and I got a day or two to hang out. Just, last couple of times I've been there, it's just sort of, stop and drop, and then on the net, and then got to be out the next day. But man, that sounds fun. We got me anyway. I kept a pretty low profile for the 4th, man. I went out to the ranch, man. We saddled the horses and drank some beers and, did, 4th of July stuff. Ate brisket.
Yeah.
It was all good, man.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, it's behind us, and our next one coming up is what, Labor Day? Yeah, we got Labor Day, man, just around the corner.
Yeah, this we have a lot of holidays, don't we? I mean, it's just a lot of holidays. I think there's a holiday
we do,
every day.
And they seem to be adding like more. Although if you think about it, that's probably kind of logical. The farther along we get more like contemporary heroes who didn't get a bank day and they get a Monday when the post office closes. And you ever notice, man, as soon as they start a holiday where they start closing that post office, it ain't gonna be long, and everybody gets a 3-day week.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I think we need to have be looking for more heroes and people that we can celebrate, so we can have even more long weekends.
3-day weekends, man. I'll always vote for that.
Maybe there should be a holiday to celebrate 3-day weekends.
It'd be good. Let's see, would be a good time to put that, man. Like August, like between 4th of July and Labor Day.
Yeah, there you go. Just sandwich it in there. We need one in there. Yeah.
Well, we got the whole month of August, man. We don't have anything.
Well, I was talking a while ago about old Joey, and they had a birthday party for me back the week of June 24th over at Joey's house. He's got a real nice house, swimming pool and everything, or cement pond as he calls it. And then, he's a Beverly Hillbilly. What can you say? And so anyway, we had 3/4 of my old band from the 80s, Buffalo Hut Coalition, because me and Joey and then my friend Greg Erie from Packlet, South Carolina, came over, and so we just played some acoustic music, and we hadn't played together in forever and ever. But it was quite a little bit of a thrill for me just to do a few songs. And then Greg's eyes are bad; he can't drive after dark, so he had to head out pretty quickly. But hopefully, we'll be able to go. I'm ready to get out and play more. I am going to be playing down at the WC Handy Festival in end of the month. Let me see right here. Let me look on my calendar. That's really professional. Yeah, on the 24th of July, I'm going to play at the WC Handy Festival in Florence, Alabama. And then the next day, I'm going to have a book signing and jam at the Alabama Music Hall of Fame, Muscle Shoals. So that's going to be fun. But I'm playing solo at the Handy Festival, just me and the acoustic guitar. So if it sucks, I can't blame anybody else. That's what's bad about it.
Yeah, but the cool thing about it is, man, about doing solo gigs like that, yeah, if it sucks, it's just on you. But here's the thing: you're playing your own songs and you're playing just by yourself.
Yeah.
Nobody can really tell you that you did it wrong.
That's right. That's right.
It's a song you wrote. They can't really go, no, man, you did that wrong.
No, you can. Even if they've heard it before and they recognize it, you say, "Oh no, I'm trying to be more like Bob Dylan. I'm kind of changing up the arrangements on my songs."
Man, look, I'm doing an acoustic interpretation.
Yeah, that's right. Interpretive music. That
I'm
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing I wanted to touch on.
I'm doing a drunken late.
Oh wait a minute. That's just every show though, right? A drunken late night acoustic rendition.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, about half of them.
I started to say it depends on how late it is. Though I mean, honestly, hopefully I'll never have to do any more of those things that we did in the '80s, where you play for 4 sets and then you stop at about 2:30 or 3 in the morning. Because I always felt like death warmed over then. I can't imagine what I'd feel like at my tender young age now. I don't know if I could do it. I like it around here that people are starting to do shows that start at 7 and end at 9. I'm like, yeah, old people shows. That's what I want to do.
Well, and that's it. That's I got some dates coming up in the Northeast in the fall, and I got a couple club dates on there that are going to be. I got one that's one of them old time all nighters, man. Where it's like 8 to 12 or 9 to 1, or it's a really long time, and everything else I'm trying to book there, man, is house concerts, man, because it's like, well, and I quit after 90 minutes, and they're like, man, you must really not like playing anymore. And it's like, hell, it's not that. I just don't have a stamina to do them all. I can't do a whole bunch of them all nighters in a row, man, because like around 11:30, man, I start to really drop off.
Really. Well, that house concert idea that you're talking about, I'm looking into doing some of those too, and I think that's really kind of a good way to go. But I was saying, if you're going to be up in the Northeast, we need to get our heads together, because I believe that with just a little bit of work, I could land a couple of gigs down here if you're already on the East Coast. Try to get me and you and Joe and some of us together and do something. Yeah. We'll try it. But anyway,
when you say some of us, you mean Joey.
Yeah, well, Joey, maybe Randall. I don't know. We'll see. You liked playing with Randall too, didn't you? The guitar player, Calvert. Is your sound cutting out, or are you just especially quiet?
It's my sound. I mentioned earlier they're doing the building I'm in. They're power washing and painting it, and they keep monkeying with my cable connection.
Oh, I see. Well, let me slide a little promo in right quick. I want to say something good about the Kudzoo magazine, who sponsors this thing, which is also one of my other hats that I wear. For people that hadn't seen it yet, I hope you'll check out the new issue. You can get it at kudzoomag.com or at michaelbuffalo.net. Issue number 14 with Cyril Neville on the cover, and it did something a little bit different this issue. Instead of typing out the interview, I've got a link embedded in there to it goes to YouTube and plays the interview, so you can hear Cyril talk, because he talked with me for over an hour, and it was really interesting about the Royal Southern Brotherhood and their new CD, and also about his band, the Neville Brothers. It's really good. Also, there's an interview in there with the Boxmasters. Article about my Memphis road trip and the Rebel Yell book tour and going to Phoenix for the Comic Con and just way too many trips in a couple of months. And got tribute to our friend Bob Burns that passed away several months ago. That was the Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame member that was a drummer for Leonard Skinner. So all that stuff's in there with restaurant reviews. Wine reviews is a new thing we got in there. DVD reviews, book reviews, and CD reviews, and reviews of live shows. And the best part about it is it's all free. So go to kudzoomag.com. Check that out, or at michaelbuffalo.net. And that's the end of that plug, because just keep on plugging. So, Billy Eli, speaking of movies, which we weren't, I've started back going to movies again, and as you know, I'm a big fan of science fiction and all that kind of stuff. So the first one I saw,
I did know that you liked all that.
Oh yeah, well the first one that really rocked my world was called Mad Max: Fury Road, and because I like all the other Mad Max movies, but this one just kicked all the rest of them's butt. It was nonstop.
Is it just a Mad Max reboot, or is it a different story in the franchise?
It's a totally different story. It's just a different guy playing Max, and instead of Mel Gibson, it's this guy that I can't remember his name. He played Bane in the new Batman movies, but he's bad to the bone. But the real star of it to me was Charlize Theron, because she is just bad to the bone. I mean, she is just shaved head and all scarred up, and she's got a fake arm, a robot arm, and at one point the arm, she just takes it off and lets it fall to the ground, and she's just got a stub. And they do that. How they do that with CGI, that blows my mind. I mean, it's just great. But the whole thing was just nonstop action, and just it's crazy. That's what I like about Mad Max movies, was especially Road Warrior. That was the first one I actually saw. I saw it before I saw the first one. And me and my dad went to the movie theater and saw it. My daddy, God rest his soul, he thought it was fantastic. It was just so much action. But anyway, Mad Max, that was a good one. And then this past Friday, I went to see that new Terminator movie, Genesis, whatever, with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Good movie.
It was excellent. It was maybe the best of the Terminator movies to me. The fact that they got the old Arnold in there, and they explained that the skin that's put on those robots ages like normal people's skin, which is why he was gray-haired and wrinkled. But he was, but it takes place in the present or whatever. And then they were traveling back through all those different timelines and changing the past and da-da-da-da. And so the one scene, the pivotal scene where Arnold faces off against the 1984 Arnold Schwarzenegger in a big old fight, it was like the Hulk versus Ben Grimm. I mean, it was like just knocking each other for a loop. But I'm glad I read about it in Entertainment Weekly beforehand to learn that they didn't use footage from the old movies. This was a body double, and they took CGI and meticulously reconstructed Arnold's younger face onto this body double, and it looks so real. I mean, you couldn't tell it wasn't the original Terminator, facing off against the old Terminator. Yeah, I guess it's one of those cases where you really had to be there, but it was really good, really good. So anyway, that about movies.
I will. There's a pretty good chance I'll see that. That I'll see that Terminator movie, but it probably won't be till it hits, Netflix or one of the streaming. First of all, man, it's pointless for me to go to a theater and sit down and try and watch a movie because I can't hear anything anymore.
Oh yeah.
And so it's just like being inside this giant vat of white noise.
Oh gosh.
And that's only really part of the issue, man. The other part of the issue is I really can only sit still without moving, getting up and moving around. Yeah, but about 15 minutes tops.
Oh yeah.
And so so paying $9 to see a movie, but when I have it on Netflix and I'm trying to remember. I've seen all the Terminator movies, but I didn't see them in the right order.
Oh
Um,
well, that's all right. It all ties together.
so yeah, well, I mean, it kind of does after you get all of it, and that's a good little tidbit about the skin on the Terminator robot ages. That's how come Arnold.
Yeah,
And, it's kind of clever, but it's also really kind of cheesy.
that's how we explain my aging. I
Yeah,
age,
that's
I age like fine wine or cheese,
well, he ages like
especially
like
cheese.
old cheese, especially the cheese part.
The funniest part of
Uh,
all that they did in the thing, though, is that apparently this younger girl is playing. Boy, I had it on the tip of my tongue. The main girl in the movie, instead of they got this pretty young girl.
oh,
Cause
she's got Linda Hamilton's.
yeah, got her
She's
part.
got
Yeah,
Linda
yeah, yeah,
Hamilton's old role.
yeah. This younger girl and from Game of Thrones, I believe
Right,
she's on.
because they didn't. Right, because they could only age Arnie's robot. They couldn't age Linda.
That's right. Well, she aged a little bit herself, but let's not go there. But anyway, that the younger girl calls Arnold Pops because apparently in this timeline he's been with her for he rescued her at the age of 5 from some bad guys and has been with her ever since, protecting her. So it's like a whole different timeline folded in on itself. And somewhere along the line, she tried to teach him to smile. So he does the funniest. When he tries to smile, he does that cheesy grin like little kids will do, and everybody in the theater was cracking up. I mean, he has one of the great things about this movies is they give Arnold all these silly lines, and they repeated lines like "Come with me if you want to live" and "I'll be back" and all this kind of stuff. And
Right.
but
Right.
for the nostalgia freaks such as myself, nevertheless and furthermore, good. I give Terminator Genesis 5 stars and Mad Max 5 stars, and upcoming movies that I can't wait to see next week is Fantastic Four reboot, and I'm not sure about Ant-Man. I'll let you know later. But the one that I can't wait is in December when Star Wars Chapter 7 comes out. I cannot wait to see that. I'm gonna be like a kid.
Oh wow, they're doing it. They're doing a new Star Wars.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
You're gonna say you didn't know
Man,
about it.
I mean, no, I didn't.
Really?
I'm really out of the loop on stuff like movies. I'm really current on all the TV shows. Well, most of the TV shows. Because TV shows now are like really one big long movie that they stretch out over a few months.
Yeah, it is.
And but I don't have the again, it's a patience thing, man. I don't have the patience to like clock in every week and watch them. So
Netflix.
I either and I get the whole season and watch all of it one time.
That's
And
what Netflix and
I
Amazon
did
Prime.
that. I did that recently with I did stay current on the Game of Thrones stuff because it was there was so much buzz going around it, and I had watched the first couple of seasons, and then I didn't watch like the next. I watched the first 2, and then I didn't watch 3 and 4, and then a friend of mine was like, "Hey, you gotta start coming over and watching this with me on Sundays," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, well, I better get current." So I got them on Netflix and watched all season 3 and all season 4, and and mostly I did that so when I'm hanging out with people and they're talking about it, I would have some idea what the hell they're talking
Yeah, that's a good idea.
because up until then, it's kind of like being it's kind of like being in San Antonio if you don't speak Spanish. A lot of people talking, you ain't getting any of it. But
Oh, really? Wow.
but it's yeah, no, man. Are you a TV show guy?
Maybe too much. Now I've got right here where I'm broadcasting from. I'm sitting here, my computer's right in front of me, and right over to my left is the giant screen TV. And the only thing I got going through that is internet. So I got my Netflix and my Amazon Prime and my DVDs. I got a Blu-ray player over here. So, I mean, now, and this has just started a few weeks ago when my roommate bought a new TV with a sound bar and all that. Sounds like Sense Around or whatever. I don't know what I don't know what they call it now. THX or whatever. But I've got mine in here now, so I can like play that while I'm working, and I kind of halfway watch the shows just enough to know what's going on. So I binge watch different things, and all like that. So and then there are things that I watch on a regular basis, like Under the Dome and this thing, some science fiction shows, a bunch of them, and I can't even think right now.
What science fiction shows?
Well, Under the Dome is based on. It's in the third season.
Okay.
It's based on a Stephen King thing. That's a good thing. And then there's one called Wayward Pines that I really like. That
one I've heard of. I hadn't seen it. Is it good?
It's good. It's really good. If you get in it from the beginning and see what's going on. Matt Dillon's in it, and I had not seen that guy in anything in a long time, but he's in it. And I don't know, man. There's just so much nerd going on in my world right now. I'm nerding out more than I have since the '70s on comic books and comic book movies and science fiction movies and all such as that. Those are all my favorite kind of stuff. But then, of course, now I like I like serious stuff too. I mean, sometimes, kind of, sort of. So I watch stuff all the time, way too much.
I started watching the damn it, I'm blanking on the name. It's a historical series. I think it's on AMC about the American Revolution, Washington spies. Turn. That was the name of it.
Oh yeah.
It was about the Culper Ring and the Ring of Spies on Long Island, New York during the American Revolution. And I watched the first season of that and really liked it, but when the second season started, it didn't keep me engaged very long. And I don't know. I guess if you have the capacity, for lots of stuff not happening, boy, they were forever setting up their story arcs, and kind of by the time they got them set up, I was just like, yeah, I don't care if they die anymore.
Oh my!
I've watched it way too long with nothing happening.
Well, just yesterday I started binge watching. I've been told over and over again what a mistake I was making by not watching the show called Vikings. So I really liked the first 3 episodes I watched yesterday. It's on Netflix, but it's still going on. It's on the History Channel, but it's kind of like
right.
Sort of reminds me of the same feeling that you get from that HBO one we were just talking about. The
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. So I mean, it's saying, lots of violence and lots of not nearly as much total nudity and sex, which is kind of a disappointment.
No, it doesn't have the gratuitous sex.
Yeah, they have that in every episode.
I watched the first season of Vikings, and again, it just I don't know what causes that. It's like some shows can move slow and it doesn't bother me, and then some shows, if they start moving real slow, it's even if in between the slow parts they have a lot of gratuitous sex and gratuitous violence, it's the Vikings was I watched all of that first season. I can't remember who was the bad guy.
I'm not good with names.
Damn it, I'm blank. Damn it, I'm blanking on his name. He was in that Schwarzenegger movie, End of Days.
Oh yeah.
And I'm blanking on his name, but
That's
anyway,
okay.
it was pretty good, and it kind of had some tension and some drama and some action, and I don't know, man. I got a couple 3 episodes into season 2, and was just like, I just sort of. I didn't intentionally make a decision to quit watching it. I just missed a couple episodes, and after that, it was done.
I've had that happen to me before. It may happen with this one. So far, I'm kind of engaged, like I'm up to the 3rd episode, and I really watched. Go ahead.
Did you watch True Detective?
The first season was fantastic. I haven't seen the new one at all, but that first one was great.
Same page as you, and I think I'm gonna wait till the season ends, get it on Netflix, because that's one of those shows that I will absolutely go batshit crazy if I have to wait weeks to get to the next installment. I don't want to stretch it. I don't want to stretch it out over 3 months.
Well, no, Matthew McConaughey and who was it? Matthew McConaughey and Woody. What's his name?
Woody Harrelson.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson. Man, they were good. Wow, they were really good, and it was really good
and
writing.
I don't remember who's cast in this season. I do like the concept that every season it's all new actors and it's a whole new story arc. You know.
Yeah, I tell you, my mind's not working at full capacity today because I would normally just popped off the cast for the new one because the girl that's in there whose name I cannot call, boy, I really like her from tons and tons of movies, and I can't for the life of me think right now because the harder I'm trying to think of her name, the further away it goes. I guess that's called getting old.
Well, wouldn't we make great television critics? We can't remember the name of the actor.
Somebody.
We're comparing. No, man, it's that one chick that was in that other movie with that guy that was in that TV show.
I think that's the way it ought to be. But I think they were probably more prepared than we are as far as because I think folks that listen to this realize that we're just freestyling with no set agenda whatsoever, and if you can't tell that, then God bless you, because
if you can't tell that, then you need to be looking for answers somewhere besides on this show.
That's a true story. My goodness gracious.
Do you watch Supernatural?
I have not watched it yet, but I sure would. I'm a great interest in it. I would like to.
I got sucked into that from watching a YouTube clip, and I just saw a clip on YouTube, and I thought, oh wow, man, what a great gratuitous violence. So,
yeah.
And I must have picked it up about, I don't know, season that was in like its 7th season, and I rented all of it and watched 7 seasons worth in like a weekend, and then and so yeah, I'm kind of current now, but my daughter Cassidy, I turned her onto it, and I mean, she's like one of those Uber fans. I mean, man, she's in it. She knows like the serial number on the car and stuff like that, So,
oh my gosh!
Anytime I'm in danger of missing anything on that show, she'll say, she'll say, "Hey, you got to watch Supernatural with me this week." And so, I do like that it's on this network, and so I can. I don't have to watch it on any particular night because it'll be on on the network's website, and like you got a week or something to watch it.
Well, I've got that.
But I'm sort of in the middle of I'm in. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to tell you, I've just looked up the answer to our question. True Detective. It's Colin Farrell, Vince Vaughn, Rachel McAdams.
Yeah, that's right.
Rachel McAdams, who I love. Taylor Kitsch and Kelly Riley.
I don't see how they can miss, man.
Well, and they said that Rachel McAdams is not like any other character she's ever played. And I saw a clip of it. She's a tough cop, like just like some Brooklyn cop or something, So she's where's this one set at? Did it say in the synopsis? It probably did, but I just clicked it closed. So let's pick a city that we want it to be set in. Okay. Where do you want it? I think it's in California. Yeah. Pretty sure it's in California. Or is that the?
Yeah, let's go ahead. You know what? Let's don't even narrow it down to a city. We'll just call it California.
Well, I know that the new Walking Dead series is in California. Fear of the Walking Dead. I'm looking forward to that because I love the Walking Dead. But in this one, it goes back to
that was another one I made one season.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I'm so hooked on that. I've got all the DVDs and it's not and everybody goes, "You love zombies that much?" And I'm like, "No, I don't even care about zombies. It's about the people and getting into the characters and stuff." And it got better and better and better as time went on. So anyway, that about that. And well, I was thinking about this, Billy Eli. I like to say both names because they're both short. So instead of saying Billy, I say Billy Eli. So Billy Eli,
right.
Political correctness. Do we go there or not? I just want to say this. first of all, I would like to preface this by saying that I am not stating any opinion on the subject whatsoever. I'm just going to say, as Mike Wallace used to say, here's what we know. They have voted. Who is it, Billy, that voted to take the Confederate flag off of the grounds of the State House? Who was it that voted for it? Do you know?
You mean
it goes to one body of political. I'm not a politician.
It went to the South Carolina Senate.
Yeah, and now it goes to who?
Y'all's House of Representatives.
Yeah. So anyway, I will say that.
And then it'll go to Governor Haley if it gets through the House, and she's going to sign it because she's already said she would sign it.
Yeah, I know, and because she likes to get the popular vote too. So it's like what I mean by that is that I'm not crazy about Haley, but she does some pretty good stuff, yada yada yada, and I like that. But it seems like whatever the biggest number of people are going for, that's what she's going to go for, and that may be the way to go, because I don't know, but maybe I'm just talking myself into a hole.
Well, I see what you're saying. She sees what the consensus is and then tries to jump in front of it. That's state politics, and here's my take on the rebel flag, and I see both sides of it, and I have friends on both sides of it, and I have friends that think it's an abomination, it should be taken down, that it's a relic from long ago, that there's no there's no reason for it to be officially flown in any government capacity. And I have friends that have always had one hanging in their living room or somewhere, and seeing both sides of the thing. Here's the only complaint that this is the biggest thing about the argument. This argument that's happening. Well, it started out in South Carolina, but now it's kind of moved nationwide. My biggest fault with the whole damn argument is the timing that they picked to have it. If they could have argued about it any time before Charleston, they could have waited 3 months and talked about it. I think at the time that it came up, and I'm not sure who brought it. I don't know which side brought it up first. So I'm not pointing any fingers at any particular group or any particular individuals. I do think it's kind of in bad taste that they started that before they'd even had the funerals, no matter which side of that position you're on. And I don't know anybody on either side of any argument of if it's racist, if it's just your southern roots or all that stuff. I don't know anybody that condones anything like just brainless violence on other people. Now, almost everybody I know is perfectly okay with self-inflicted brainless violence.
Yeah.
But that's a whole different ball of wax there. But so I don't know. It got heated. It got heated really, really fast, and So
yeah. I mean,
it's probably. You're probably seeing it really up close. I mean,
it's right here in the backyard or in the front yard, whatever. But the thing about it is, I got on Facebook the other day, and I was just curious. I had seen where CNN, it was all over the news, and CNN.com had posted a poll, apparently a national poll of finding out that just the whole spectrum of human beings, regardless of race, creed, or color, which are, I guess, race and color are the same thing, I'm not sure, but they say that together all the time, and until I said that, I didn't realize how often people say race, creed, or color. But regardless of any of that, which doesn't matter anyway, everybody is everybody, and everybody to me is equal, and except for the guy that killed those folks, he's not equal to anybody because he's subhuman.
Right.
He's freaking human.
Right, Dylan Roof. Exactly. Man, that guy was an idiot regardless of what his ideology was, man, you can't fix being an idiot. It don't matter. It don't matter where on any spectrum
And
you are. You're an idiot.
waving a rebel flag and all like that. That just could have been anything. I mean, he's also wearing a Gold's Gym T-shirt, and I wonder what those folks thought about it. Oh my God,
Yeah.
why did he have on our shirt? No.
Right, yeah.
I've been working out so
I
I
didn't
can
even
murder.
think about that.
Yeah, I've been working
Right,
out so I can murder a bunch of people. This is stupid, but God, yeah, but he just,
yeah.
there's no rhyme or reason. But what I was going to say was when I posted on Facebook the poll, and it said there was 76% of people in America, all people in America, who said that they didn't care one way or another about whether there's a rebel flags flying here, there, and yonder. It doesn't matter because flags don't affect their life, really at all. Most people are too busy to even worry about it. But by the same token, I posted that and kind of I had friends from both sides of the fence on this issue doing battle on my Facebook page. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of posts where people were like going at each other's throats, and I'm like, gosh, I wish now that I had that. And one guy though that really got me was he posted and got on to me and blamed me for all the fighting and everything between the rebel flag people, the people that want to keep it and the people that hate it. Blamed me because I posted the question and said, I put it in the poll and I said, what do you guys think? And I just want to know what people thought. But
Right.
they don't just tell what they think. They get on there and start fighting.
Well,
It's like you and I were talking about.
And the guy. Go ahead.
You and I were talking earlier. I try to avoid politics and religion in conversation because 9 times out of 10, you're going to end up with enemies because people get so adamant about it. It's like they'll like. I had a conversation one time on Facebook with a friend that we disagreed on something, and the next thing I knew, he had unfriended me and blocked me and everything else. It's like,
right.
And I'm like, wow, man. So if I don't agree with you,
right.
then I'm trash. If I don't agree with what you believe,
well, some people take like, here's a thing. I had mentioned this to you earlier. The reasons that I don't talk about, I don't ever get into politics or religion because I have a lot of different. I have friends from a lot of different backgrounds, and their politics and religion are really varied from each other. And there's some people, and this is the thing you were just talking about. Your friend that unfriended you and blocked you, and all that. They won't let you remain neutral. I mean, they want you to feel as strongly about it as they do, and it's you said a minute ago, about the flag, and most people were just like, man, I don't know, it's a flag, I'm busy going to work, or I'm busy, waxing my driveway, or whatever the hell it is.
Stocking shelves at Walmart.
Yeah, whatever it is, I'm just sorry. That's not up on the front. That's not up in the front part of my brain, man. So, so I don't really have an opinion on it. But there are people that they want that's not acceptable to them. You have to have an opinion, and you have to have my opinion, and that's from both sides, like you said. That's both sides of the fence.
Yeah,
and not just on a rebel flag, on anything, on which is better, peanut butter, smooth or crunchy, and it's just
crunchy.
And so so there you go, man. And that's and being somebody that's in the media and has a lot like you are, and you got a lot of different friends from a lot of different backgrounds. It's just. Anytime I can, I try to avoid, even having an opinion that I have to say out loud. Being from the South, it's kind of, it's just this one over the Confederate flag has been a little bit, it's been a little bit harder to stay out of
Yeah.
because, like, I personally know people. I mean, like, personally in my hang out and have a beer with a circle of friends,
Yeah.
they're just about equally divided.
Yep.
About the poll that you saw, 70%, 70% of the people think, well, it's just a flag and it's Southern pride thing, and I can see that argument. On the other hand, I'm not African American, so I'm a little uncomfortable telling them how they feel about something.
Yeah.
If they see it as something that's offensive or it makes them uncomfortable when they see it, and they're citizens of Texas or South Carolina or Mississippi or any other state that prominently displays it. I mean, I'm not going to tell them that they shouldn't feel that way. I mean, I don't feel like that's my lookout. My Southern experience is a whole lot different than it would have been if my parents had been black sharecroppers. So,
Yeah.
you
better believe that.
Well, I mean, and I think everybody comes at it from their own
perspective.
From their own background with their own with their own perspective and their own opinions on it. And it was funny, you mentioned race, creed, and color.
Yeah.
Maybe we ought to have a conversation about that and not worry about, what kind of flags flying over the whole damn thing.
Yeah, really, yeah.
But,
I don't know. It's always been, that whole issue has just been going and going and going and going. And I remember it started when it first really hit was, I graduated high school in 1976, but we were the James F. Burns High School Rebels, and we had a Confederate soldier as a mascot, and a rebel flag flying out front of under the American and the South Carolina and the rebel flag out front. Well, even in 1976, I'm going to cough. Hold on. Pardon me. But anyway, even in 1976, they rallied, the people of the area rallied to make them remove the battle flag. I showed somebody the other day my high school ring from '76, and it's got a Confederate flag on one side of it and a Confederate soldier on the other side, but that was the high school Burns Rebels. And I guess now if I was to wear it out publicly, somebody would want to chop off my finger. But it was just my high school. That's pretty much as far as my Confederate flag thing went. That, and then when I was 15, I designed a neckerchief for my Boy Scout troop, and they wanted me to put a rebel flag on it. But I think back then we looked at things a lot differently, and I've seen it. I've watched historically things come out that I didn't know about as a child, and I didn't know about, and I started learning and studying the history more. And I can see very easily, both sides of the thing, totally, both sides of the argument. But I think the thing that got me was the political correctness is running amok in everything now. And it really just makes me sick. The political correctness of everything. You can't hardly say or do anything, even joking, even comedians I've heard, like Jerry Seinfeld saying, well, I had to completely rework the way I approached comedy because now you will offend somebody.
Right.
But I don't think Don Rickles ever gave a rip.
Well, to me, and this is just me, I don't speak for anybody but me. To me, there's absolutely there's no subject that is too sacred that you can't make some kind of joke about. Now, who you make that joke to,
right?
You got to kind of be aware of that. And I was gonna pick up on a point that you just said about you talking about the neckerchief with the for your Boy Scout troop that they wanted the rebel flag on it, and you said you think it was a different time, and it was a different time, but again, we're filtering that, and then we're filtering that through our past experience. Your parents also weren't black sharecroppers, man.
No.
For all I personally know, and I'm talking about for all I know, even really old, black men, that are like in their 90s have found that damn thing offensive and fear-inducing. But I would say this: if they wanted if either side wanted to have a conversation about it, I think the best way to do that is to go, hey, I need, whatever my group is that I represent, and whatever group the other side, whoever their representative is, go, hey, look, man, we just kind of want to tell you how we're feeling about this and sort of what it represents to us. And we're residents of the state, and this could be either side, man, my great-great-great-grandfather fought for the Confederacy, and to me, it's a family thing, or, my great-great-great-great-grandfather, was a plantation slave, and this, whatever it is. But the issue that I see that's so much more than a flag, man, is neither side really talk. They come out, both sides come out breathing. I mean, and it's just, I'm not listening to you. You're wrong. Shut up. You're just wrong. Shut up.
And then they just start.
You're wrong.
They start. Then it gets to slinging
and then
barbs.
It's just all the same old tired arguments.
And slinging barbs at one another, like oh yeah, well your feet smell. I mean, just
right. Well, and it was like I said earlier, man. Then it starts being a tit for tat thing, where it's and I used an example with you about that earlier, man, about if I know people that if you make a joke about the church, or say something about, I don't know, I'm agnostic, or I'm born again pagan, or whatever in the hell it is. Their next move is, what about ISIS? They behead people. Yeah, we weren't talking about that. Let's talk about the thing that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Were there lynchings in the South? Hell yes, of course. And I see. So that's the first move, and then the counter move is, well, there may have been lynchings in the South, but and I'm getting a little more one-sided in this than I want to be, because I don't have a side in this. It's just the arguments that I hear are the ones from, that are race and class-based, from the race I am and the class I was in. And it immediately jumps to, my ancestors were enslaved, and there was segregation. Right, and then somebody starts trying to apologize. Then somebody on the other side starts trying to apologize for that. Well, slaves didn't really have it all that bad. They had it bad. Yeah, segregation's just wrong, man. You cannot make any argument where that's good, and you can't go, well, we desegregated and then everything is equal. Sorry, no, it wasn't. I mean, it's. Let me just say, it's on its way. I think one side is bitching because they feel like they're not getting credit for the steps that they made, and the other side's bitching because it ain't going fast enough. That's the race thing around that whole flag that I see, man.
Well, the only thing I'm gonna say this before we wrap this part up is when I said earlier that I felt like the political correctness had it gotten really out of hand, is when something like this comes up with all this instant gratification television news reporting, and even more so the social networking and the Twitter and all that things, it's like a automatic cyber lynching of anybody who disagrees on anything. I mean, it's just so quickly people are like posting things about. I saw Rolling Stone, I get their thing on Twitter, and they posted a picture of these folks holding the rebel flag and saying the part about some progress was made, with that vote yesterday and all this kind of stuff. And so all these people are posting up under it, hundreds of them, saying the most vile things about Southerners in general, saying, all those inbred Southern rednecks, and they're too stupid
corn pone eating Sister Mary and
that's right. Yeah. They were doing all that, and I'm like, wow, this is really nice. We're all Southerners are not created equal. All Caucasians are not created equal.
All
Nobody.
nobody has
You know, it's just
exactly.
stupid, but they want to. That's the way it works. Okay, my point was, and I got to get this out somewhere or another. The part where TV Land canceled Dukes of Hazzard reruns because of the General Lee car, and I'm like, one of the most iconic cars in television history had a rebel flag painted on top of it. Big, fat, hairy deal to me. I mean, that's different. That's not.
It's the
That's
General Lee.
It's not a flag hanging from the state capitol. It's the General Lee, and it's a comedy kind of cut up thing about the South.
It's not a documentary. It's
it's like
it's not social commentary.
So then the guy that has the car comes out. You heard this on the news. Comes out and says it's painting the American flag over the top of it, which totally devalues the originality of the vehicle.
It does. Except, again, and and like I said, I see all sides, and I really see his side. He's a professional golfer, man, in the public eye, and he's all over the world, and he's thinking, you know what? I don't need this shit.
I'm gonna score some points.
Well, I don't even think it's about scoring points. It's just I don't want to wind up. It's like I don't know. Everything that we've said on this is pretty innocuous and sort of about just the general state of humanity and less about any particular issues. But I can promise you, I'm going to have some hate mail in my inbox in the morning.
Yeah,
and
I probably will.
We pissed somebody off.
Well, you can't talk about it without making somebody mad. And but I will say this: one of the funniest things I saw was one of the people I follow on Twitter is George Takei that plays Sulu, right? Who everybody knows has come out as gay and everything.
I follow him.
Well, George posted the picture last night of Bo and Luke standing outside the General Lee, and the flag on top was the gay pride flag.
the rainbow flag.
The rainbow flag. And I was like, that's. And then everybody made all these hilarious comments up under it, about mud flaps.
Yeah, I saw that thread.
That was funny.
But
let's see. It's like, if we got to be able to laugh about these things. I mean, to a certain point. But like you said, and like I say, when the bottom line comes down to it, it's I really don't have a horse in that race, because, and like you said, if my ancestors had been African American, I'm sure I would be very adamant about the issue, a lot more than I really am now.
Well, you know what, or maybe not. There's been a significant amount of African Americans in North Carolina that say, hey, it's part of our state history, leave it up.
And a lot of them's relatives fought for the Confederacy. And I hear that a lot too.
That's the thing. It's not so clear cut as to go this side or this side's wrong. I wish, and man, we're back to talking about a particular political thing. You had started talking about political correctness. I would say this: there's money to be made from big media outlets fanning the flames of people being pissed off at each other and then selling opinions. And to me, it reminds me of like old Gunsmoke episodes, man, to the trader that's selling guns and whiskey to both the Indians and the pioneers.
Yeah.
So they fight each other. Yeah. And they fight each other while the trader guys get paid. That to me is what some of this feels like. And, and I would say this about political correctness. It has its place. And I would also say this about political incorrectness. It also has its place. Yeah, man. I don't know. And it's and we're talking about the Confederate flag here, and because it's an issue that's happening right there, pretty much at your house.
Right.
It is. Right. As we're speaking. That's happening, but it's not just that, man. It's anything, anywhere, and yeah. So I don't know. I think the thing to do is, man, is just get another beer, try to keep your guitar in tune.
Yeah, I think so. And with that note, it's almost time to wrap up. Billy Eli. We're gonna play one more song on the way out. Go do a little Todd Snyder here in just a minute because I love Todd Snyder. But it is a kind of one of his funny songs too, so that can kind of lighten everybody back up a little bit.
Hey, man,
Now that people are busy
he
writing me and you these angry letters, they can like listen to some happy music while they're doing it.
right. Now I'm getting these. I was gonna say, and now you lighten it back up. I'm fixing to make it heavy
Well, go ahead.
again, but I was gonna bring up that thing that you said about the. Well, you were just saying about this is something else, man, about the snapshots, and this is the thing about political correctness when it runs amok, and you don't have any information except a picture you saw or something you heard or saw somebody else say on Facebook. You remember? I had a bass player in my band for a while named Joe Stack, and and y'all can Google him and see what happened. See how that ended up. But when that ended up, had just released an album that had a song on it called "Spook Lights of Marfa," and I had made this. We'd made this little video, and it was just picture stills because I'd been on the road and they hadn't filmed anything, so we just took some pictures of some me and some of the guys I was playing with around the country. There's a little bar right up the road from you, man, in Charlotte. There's a little bar over there called Puckett's Farm Equipment, and it's a little NASCAR. It's a live music bar, but the guy that owns it's dirt. He races dirt track, and he's into NASCAR. And there's some rebel flags in there. There was a picture in this video of me and my band standing on the stage, and there's a rebel flag behind us. Son of a bitch, man! You would have thought I was a member of damn Al Qaeda the way they were going. The hate mail I got from that about being this rabid right wing, domestic terrorist guy and knowing all these domestic terrorist guys and standing in front of this rebel flag. And I put out one statement, and what I wrote was, that was a bar I played at in North Carolina. And I don't condone any acts of violence on anybody else, just on yourself.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And I said, the flag was hanging there when I showed up. I know the guy that owns the place, and so I mean,
we've all played those places in the South. 9 out of 10 of them have rebel flags hanging in there. All the Southern rock bars, everything. So I mean, what are we supposed to do? Not play there because they've got that? No, I mean, it's like you say though, you end up in a picture with one. It's like I saw posted. Somebody posted on Twitter or something, an old picture of Hillary Clinton back when she was younger and semi-attractive, and she's in some room and she's got a rebel flag hanging on the wall. Is in her house,
right?
And she's got her hand up, and it just worked out so nicely for this guy to put up under it, rebel flag. What rebel flag? It was like, and it was funny.
No,
it was funny.
Well, no, that does sound funny. But it's people get so damn supercharged about it instead of approaching any of it with some deliberation and So
the best thing we can all do is not worry about the daggum flag, but just show love for one another and take care of one another. All of us, all races, all people, and that's not that hard to do. Because I've got friends that are red, yellow, black, and white. We're precious in His sight.
Yeah,
I got
too.
all of them, and I don't, and I respect every one of these people's, concerns. Everybody has things that upset them or make them mad. It's not just a flag. I mean, there's all sorts of issues, and with everybody. I mean, like Native Americans. I got a lot of Cherokee blood. And I got a friend that's like 100% Cherokee, and I said, so how do you feel about the Washington Redskins issue? And he goes, I don't care about that. I don't care. Some people are making a big deal out of that.
Right.
Next up, what comes up next? Is it going to be no more Atlanta Braves? of course, I guess Redskins more of a derogatory term than Braves, but
Well, I
but
mean, I mean, it is
I don't get into that though. It's too late in the show. we're we're kind of
right,
we're kind of running over
right.
because we got
Right, well, right, and besides,
political.
man, we're still trying to sort out. We're still trying to fix and sort out this rebel flag issue.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got to figure that out. So somebody's got to do it. So me and you need to do it. And
I'll,
just
you know what? I'm going. I'm going to Los Angeles next week. I got a little run of dates starting there Thursday, a week from Thursday, and I'll see what I'll see what they say out there in Los Angeles, man.
yeah, that's it. Well, as long as you're not coming into Los Angeles, bringing in a couple of keys, you'll be okay. But
Yeah, yeah. I'm not bringing anything in except maybe some Prowler's.
so it's Prilosec, and I guess you can you get Lone Star out there?
That's about the extent of my drug use anymore, man. It's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Prowler's.
yeah. I take I take a baby aspirin every day for my heart. But anyway, anyway,
Blood.
that's gonna wrap it up for this time. We'll do another one next week or something, or try to, and we'll. Okay, folks, keep them cards and letters coming in because, and just remember, you can find Billy Eli
Yeah,
on Facebook and write directly to him there, and to me, as well. But my name is Clem Cadiddlehopper. Just look me up on Facebook. All right, but anyway, thanks for listening to the Buff and Billy Show, a product of Universal Music Tribe and Kudzoo Magazine. Coming up in a few days, there's going to be another episode of the Kudzoo Radio Hour in which I sit around and play a lot of records that I like. Maybe you'll like to listen to that too, I hope. But and then me and Billy will get back together here next week real soon and talk about all kinds of stuff. But thanks for listening. Please keep those cards and letters coming in, emails. I've gotten emails and I've gotten tweets and things about the program and that you liked it. And I hope after today you still do. And and remember to go to BillyEli.com and listen up some good old Texas music from one of the best daggum singer-songwriters there is anywhere. And go to MichaelBuffalo.net and please order the books I've been writing. I'm working on 3 more right now, but the Rebel Yell, how ironic, is doing real well. It's doing real well, but it doesn't have a picture of a rebel flag on the cover, but it's doing really, really well. And I'm really happy about that, and I hope you guys will keep on purchasing those. I'm kind of proud of it. Well, we got another one coming out on Mercer Press next year called Between Macon and Jacksonville, Conversations in Southern Rock, and it's going to be just a bunch of the very best full-length interviews with everybody from Dickie Betts to Greg Allman to Marshall Tucker guys to, all the Southern Rock folks and da-da-da-da. Plus, I got a book coming out on Backbeat Books called The Allman Brothers Band FAQ. Just signed a contract with that, and I've got to have that turned in by next July for release in the fall of 2016. So, say goodbye, Billy.
hey man, we'll see y'all next show. I'll check in from Los Angeles.